making this video to show you the condition with my eyes. As many of you know, last week I took a couple of days off to hope that they would heal. I've been going to doctors since we reopened from the COVID. And bottom line is, they don't know what's causing this, don't know what to do about it. But the fact is that when I work in a bar, the next day, this is what I have to put up with.
About 6 years ago, I discovered CBD. At that time, I had a chronic problem with arthritis, pain in my knees, my elbows, my hands were swollen, I had nodes on my knuckles. And CBD, when I discovered it, gave me immediate relief. I took CBD in a high dosage for about 3 years. And amazing things happened. My pain went away. Actually, my arthritis is gone. It wasn't until in the 1990s, that they discovered what's called the endocannabinoid system, which is a system in our bodies that's responsible for basically balancing every cell in our body from the nutrition that we take. The CBD and THC in the cannabis plant are the only two really cannabinoids, they call them, that have been identified as to what they do and their effects on our body. There's another 100 or so cannabinoids which we really don't know anything about at this point. And so, to my way of thinking, there's a lot we don't know about how our bodies are designed to operate and work. After taking a high dose of CBD for about 3 years, an infection erupted on my leg from an old injury I had when I had a motorcycle accident when I was 13. Went to specialists, they did numerous tests, they couldn't get a culture to grow, and they treated me for 90 days with a high concentration of antibiotics. And at the end, the conclusion was they just really didn't know what was causing it and didn't know what to do about it. I had a discussion with the doctors and told them about my use of CBD, and so basically they just stopped prescribing antibiotics for it and told me to continue with CBD and see what would happen. By this time, I'd done a lot of research on cannabis and THC and CBD and all of that, and I really believe that there's a lot of positive aspects of it. Problems with addiction and overuse and abuse are the problem. It's not the actual cannabis plant. And what needs to happen is there needs to be more research into cannabis and the benefits on society, and we need to understand what the benefits are and how to keep from abusing the products. That's just not happening as of yet. Even with legalization, a lot of the information out there about the use is just not right. So, I continued to use cannabis for the last 3 years and reduced my intake of CBD down to 25 milligrams a day instead of previously the high dosage of about 10 times that. My leg has continued to improve, but I've developed other conditions which may in fact be side effects of overuse of the CBD. Namely, the problem with my eyes. There's no doctor can describe the real root cause. Originally, they thought I was allergic to smoke, but that's been debunked, and they've given me tests for everything they know that causes dry eye, and I just simply don't have anything. Addiction happens when you use something too much. It's overuse of it. And what I do know about addiction, for sure, is that you can't really go from addiction to moderation. My experience with addiction is that you have to, the substance that you use and abuse alters your body, and your body adjusts to the intake. Perhaps that's the endocannabinoids system that does that. But before you can consider moderation, you've got to return your body to a natural state, and then you can maybe try moderation. So for that reason, I've decided that I'm going to stop using CBD, cannabis of any form, and let my body return to a natural state. And then we'll go from there to see what happens. Hopefully some of these side effects will go away. Well, there's no way that you can call me a religious man. I'm anything but a religious man in a lot of people's eyes. But I do believe in God. I've believed in God my whole life. Unfortunately, a lot of times in my life, I got pretty far away from God. But at some point, actually about 30 or so years ago, I did start developing a prayer life, and I'd pray to God and felt like I had a relationship with God. But that relationship has kind of been like he was a neighbor, somebody I knew, somebody I talked with and listened to sometimes and had respect for, but just never really got involved with him. Well, now that I'm kind of retired and old and 78 years old, and it's a lot easier to find the time to have a relationship with God. And I want to say that my relationship with God today is stronger than it's ever been. And what I believe is that as a Christian, I believe in Christ, and I believe Christ is an example of someone on this earth that trusted God for everything. And that's really kind of how I'm going to move forward in the rest of my life. And a lot of the reason I wrote this little book is God kind of put it on my heart to do so. And I just want to say to anyone that's watching this here is if you've got a problem in your life, the solution is God. It can be God. I really believe the solution for this world is more people just need to turn to God. And it's really that simple. Well, the book's been out for a week now, and it's amazing to me that the idea came to my head about 6 weeks ago, and it's been out for a week already. So without any more delay, I think that's a miracle from God within itself. And I would appreciate it if you've read it and got it. If you haven't, I hope you do soon. But next will just be my little rant for the week. We'll talk to you later. Well, it's week 10. No marijuana, no CBD for week 10. I am feeling a lot better. I want to tell you that. My eyes are doing better. I just feel better. I want to do a video because it's beyond the book. The book sales are, first week, sold 12 copies on Amazon that were delivered. They don't report them until they're delivered. So if you've ordered one and haven't received it yet, that's not in my count. There was over 32, I think, 32 in one day, electronic reads of the book. So I guess that's we're looking somewhere around maybe 30, 40 people have read the book. So far I have no reviews, so if you got it and reading it or read it, I'm looking for some reviews. I want to know what people think. My goal in doing this, and this video gives you a little more reason why I decided to do this and come forward with my use of cannabis all my life. I hope I make the point. I wasn't really just a pothead or crazy wild. Most of the time that I used marijuana, it was in private. I hid it. Back 50 years ago, if you got caught with a joint, you went to prison. So it's pretty serious. So I just pretty much kept those habits all the way up until recently. And one of the reasons that I started using it is I had a real alcohol problem. Some of you, my friends, have got a few alcohol problems. If you knew me, if I was drinking, I wouldn't have been a karaoke host more than a couple of weeks. Just not the good side of me comes out when I'm drinking. And so I quit drinking, and the way I kind of stayed with my friends and did drink is I got stoned. And what I learned early on, one of the first things I learned about marijuana is I could get stoned and nobody knew it. It was a secret. And so it goes undetected often. Matter of fact, now as I tell people my background, my experience with it, one of the first reactions I get from some of them is, I didn't know you did that. Well, I never told you, and didn't have to. And so, that's part of what I want to disclose. I mean, all the lies about what it's going to do to you are just lies. Now, that doesn't mean it can't be abused, but that doesn't mean that people that have used marijuana didn't do something terrible and get in trouble, but marijuana wasn't the reason. It was something else the reason. And I think that's true with all addictions. Now with guns, they blame guns for the crimes. Well, that's not the guns aren't responsible for crimes. It's something else. And I really think that with addiction. I think with addiction, you become addicted to a substance because you abuse it, whether it be marijuana or alcohol or hard drugs or sugar. I kind of got addicted to sugar, and one of the things that's on my plate right now is I'm trying to lose weight. But anyway, back to this video. I want to thank everybody that's bought the book. I hope some more of you buy the book. My whole world's not based on selling these books. I wrote it to basically try to bring attention to benefits of cannabis rather than the bad part of it. And I still believe that. I believe that cannabis has the potential of really fixing a lot of problems we got in this world. And they include the things that aren't even related to drug addiction or anything like that. And but this is week 10. I can tell you, while I'm past the withdrawal symptoms, the bad ones, I still feel changes going on in my body. I don't know whether I'll do these every week, but I'm going to go beyond the book because it is an experiment. I think it'll take me several months to restore the natural state of my body. And gosh, I hope I don't get COVID. Willie T just sent me a link to something I shared on my Facebook, that there's a university somewhere that did a study that hemp products in hemp prevent the COVID-19 virus from entering the blood cells. Well, that could very well be why I don't have it, because I've talked to my doctors about it, and they keep trying to push me on a vaccine, and I won't take the vaccine. And more importantly, I want to know why I haven't had it. Well, the other thing is, I haven't had the flu or anything like that for quite some time. So maybe this is another one of the benefits of cannabis that we don't know about yet. And that's the whole point with everything I'm doing right now. There's a lot we don't know. But the most significant thing I can say, that I can feel changes in my body, and just all over. I'm returning to a natural state and understanding the endocannabinoid system. Boy, we'll learn to say it yet or not. Like I do, it affects every cell in your body. And it's been clogged with too much CBD maybe in the past. And while that's provided me benefits, maybe it's kept some other natural things that are supposed to happen from happening. The one I want to call your attention to right now is dreams. Man, I am dreaming. And, for years, I haven't had dreams. I just don't dream. And now, started in the withdrawal, I started having some dreams. But now it's like they're on fast forward in an old-time movie. I just spend my night dreaming of all kinds of crazy stuff. I guess my brain's waking up is what it's doing. And beyond that, I probably went through a period of a lot of sleep. I couldn't stay awake hardly. But I feel more rested, and my eyes are doing better. I'm going to be more active this month. January the 25th, I'm going to be out at 510 Bar doing a book reading. I've already announced that I'm going to be there at B.B. Wolf's at their craft fair doing a book signing. And then I said reading, but I think that's signing. And I've decided to do a monthly karaoke show, at least on a trial basis, at Jack's. Jack, it's not Jack, he's Nick. Nick has been a friend of mine for probably 15 years. I've done karaoke shows with him, sold him some other equipment. And when I had to stop doing karaoke, I had been doing a show in his bar, Jack's, and I had mounted the speakers on the walls in there. They didn't really have a stage anymore, and I had a different idea about how to do karaoke there, so I mounted power speakers on the walls. And rather than have me remove those, he just bought them from me. So they're there, and it'll make it real easy for me to go in and set up and do a karaoke show. I know I've retired from karaoke now, at least from doing weekly shows. And, the main reason is I just don't want to haul that stuff around anymore and set it up like I did. That's kind of hard for an old lady or old man, and I'll be there pretty soon. So it'll be easy to go to Nick's and just bring in a laptop, plug it in, and do a show. And we've already announced it. Well, we haven't announced it yet, but we've agreed to do it. It'll be on the 29th. And I'm hoping a lot of my good karaoke friends will be there to just have a reunion of sorts. And maybe going forward, I do know a lot of people from everywhere around the city. They can get together over at Nick's. It's not the same Jack's that it was for years back when we did karaoke. It's now more of like a pool hall. But that means, the karaoke singers, if we've got a nice long rotation, which I hope to have, you can mingle and visit and play pool because there's plenty of tables. So I'm looking forward to that. Beyond that, I'm just, I'm old and I'm depending on God for everything, and we'll see what happens. But I may make more of these videos, and then again, I may not. But if you want to support me, buy a book, read it, give me comments back. I need, for the book to go up on Amazon, I need book reviews. Oddly enough, Amazon's kind of like Facebook. They've got community standards, and they won't accept ads that for marijuana. So I hope they keep allowing me to publish the book there, but just whether it's a good thing or not, I did my own search on Google, and I put in the word marijuana and my name, and boom, I popped to the top. So you can find me in Amazon. If you looking under the book category, you put in the title of the book, The Magic and the Mystery of Marijuana, with my name, and it comes right up. So shouldn't be any problem finding the book. Maybe I didn't need that Amazon advertising, I don't know. But this will go forward one step at a time, and stay in prayer, and keep listening to the good Lord above. And believe me, if you've got a problem, don't blame it on yourself. Just look at yourself and figure out how you can fix it. Thank you very much.